A 14-year-old has been charged in connection with a shooting at a high school. It happened in the parking lot at Orangeburg Wilkinson High Wednesday afternoon. 3 students suffered non-life-threatening injuries, we're told. The sheriff says the 14-year-old suspect is being held at the Department of Juvenile Justice. Law enforcement wants the teen to be tried as an adult.
A 5-hour standoff near the U.S. Capitol ended peacefully today when a man who claimed to have a bomb surrendered to the police.
Tonight we have learned that man is from North Carolina. Alice Barr has the latest from Washington.
After hours of negotiation, a man who claimed to have a bomb in his pickup truck surrendered to police today, bringing a peaceful end to a standoff that closed down much of Capitol Hill.
The driver of the truck told the responding officer on the scene that he had a bomb and what the officer said appeared to be a detonator in the man's hand.
U.S. Capitol Police say they searched the truck and did not find a bomb, but did collect possible bomb-making materials. The man had parked on the sidewalk just outside the Library of Congress, near the Supreme Court and the U.S. Capitol. Local and federal police officers quickly cordoned off the area. The library, the High Court, and several Capitol office buildings evacuated. Though with Congress in recess, very few lawmakers and staff were in the Capitol complex today. Investigators say they've identified the suspect, a 49-year-old man from North Carolina who was reportedly broadcasting live on Facebook, streaming a litany of anti-government statements. For a time, sources said he was using a dry erase board to communicate with the officers who surrounded him.
He gave up and did not resist, and our folks were able to take him into custody without incident.
The tense scene stirring up the fear and confusion of the deadly January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. With those images fresh in their minds, police taking no chances today in Washington. Alice Barr, NBC News.
Members of Congress in Spartanburg tonight for the 4th annual Washington Night.
Representative William Timmons and Senator Tim Scott addressing a number of hot-button issues, including national spending and Afghanistan. Our Kylie Jones was there, and she joins us live with more. Kylie?
Yeah, Carolyn, a lot of talk about the future of our nation. The event, moderated by WYFF News 4's own Taggart Houck, brought some highly charged responses from South Carolina congressmen. The 4th annual Washington Night here in the Upstate kicked off with one of the most pressing issues facing our nation.
The first thing we have to do is we have to get every single American citizen out of Afghanistan. And then we have to get all of the people that have helped us.
Strong words from Representative William Timmons on the Taliban's takeover of Afghanistan.
Our Secretary of Defense recently said that we do not have the ability to ensure safe passage to the airport. It's disgraceful. It is unacceptable.
Also weighing in, Senator Tim Scott.
This is not just a foreign policy failure. This is a financial failure, a taxing failure. This is a failure to the American people.
The 20-year-long war in Afghanistan has taken a financial toll on the U.S., though, costing trillions of dollars and rising. The politicians also raised concerns over existing trillions of dollars in national debt. The congressman called spending out of control.
The spending that we're seeing in Washington right now is just totally unacceptable, and it is going to be the downfall of our country.
As the COVID-19 pandemic wages on and cases rise across the nation, there was no mention or discussion of the issue Thursday night. If you did miss the event earlier this evening, you can head over to WYFF News 4's Facebook page to watch that full stream. For now, reporting live in Greenville, Kylie Jones, WYFF News 4.
Thank you. An update from Prisma Health tonight. Doctors there say nearly 400 people are hospitalized right now with COVID-19. That's across the entire health system. Back on July 2nd, there were only 12 positive patients at Prisma. Doctors are seeing more and more younger people in the hospital now.
These children are more ill than they were prior. That we have more children in the ICU, we have more children that we're having to support the respiratory tract, and that these children are more than febrile, more than a cold. They are ill enough to need to come in the hospital, and many of them ill enough to be in the ICU environment.
Prisma Health says 87% of total COVID positive cases in the hospital right now are the unvaccinated.
To the latest coronavirus numbers in South Carolina, DHEC is reporting more than 2,000 new cases of COVID-19. The state's total is more than 550,000. Health officials say of the more than 18,000 test results reported today, more than 14% of those tests were positive. South Carolina's death toll is more than 1,200.
A leader within the Republican Party in the upstate has died. Presley Stutz passed away this morning after being hospitalized with COVID-19. Republican Party officials in the upstate confirmed his death. Stutz had shared about his battle with COVID-19 on social media. And you may remember this, earlier this month, people gathered in front of his home for a prayer vigil. Presley Stutz was 64 years old.
To the latest coronavirus numbers in North Carolina, health officials are reporting more than 7,000 new cases of COVID-19. Today's percent positive was more than 12%. The state's death toll has now risen to more than 14,000.
In Georgia, health officials there report more than 7,000 new cases of coronavirus, 46 more COVID-19 deaths as well. Georgia's death toll, you see there, more than 19,000 tonight.
Over 300,000 Americans will have their student loan debt wiped out. The Biden administration announced today it will erase the debt for those with severe disabilities that leave them unable to earn significant incomes. This will start in September and affect 323,000 Americans who are identified in Social Security records as being permanently disabled. The move will wipe out nearly $6 billion in debt.
Nurses across this country are seeing a new threat these days, not from COVID-19, but for their physical safety. A study in the New England Journal of Medicine found that in the past year, 82% of emergency room nurses were victims of physical assault. One hospital in Missouri now provides ER nurses with panic buttons. If a patient tries to attack, the nurse pushes the button and the entire ER is notified. The new Missouri law also allows nurses who press charges to remain anonymous out of fear of retaliation.
Rowdy airline passengers have racked up more than $1 million in potential fines this year. The FAA proposed fines against 34 new people today. Most of the incidents involve passengers violating the mask mandate. Half of the incidents involve flights to or from vacation destinations in Florida. The FAA says alcohol is also a frequent factor. Still to come tonight, they took a recipe from Grandma, all to help give people half a world away a new future.
And a very warm and muggy night taking shape across the area. Coming up, we'll take a closer look at the heat building into the weekend.
Two young cousins in Colorado are stepping up to help people feeling the chaos in Afghanistan. The two 5-year-olds set up a lemonade stand with some help from their family.
All the proceeds go to the International Rescue Committee. That's an organization that helps refugees all over the world.
Lemonade for $2 and $1.
Just like my mother used to make.
More lemon, please.
Oh, the lemonade is Timber's grandmother's special recipe.
Mine's rum and his is Timber. Yep, Timber.
Timber's been really wanting to do a lemonade stand.
First, put the syrup.
Thank you so much.
She wanted sparkling.
Really good, guys.
Our business is going great.
We're gonna donate the proceeds from the lemonade stand to International Rescue Committee.
We're giving it to the refugee people.
Oh, Afghanistan, yeah. It's a tough situation, huh?
10?
Last I checked, it was well over $250. If everyone takes small steps to do something, then maybe it will make a difference.
The International Rescue Committee helps with resettlement.
Thanks to their stand and help from family and friends via Venmo, the cousins raised $750.
An Olympic staffer has been offered an all-expenses-paid trip to Jamaica after she helped a hurdler during the Olympics. The staffer helped Jamaican athlete Hansel Parchment when he arrived at the wrong venue before his semifinal race. She handed him cash to pay for a taxi to get him to the right venue, where he landed a gold medal. Parchment later visited the staffer and gave her the taxi money back.
If you have ever wanted to visit the North Pole, this may be your chance, and there's the way. For $200,000, a startup firm called Ocean Sky Cruises is offering luxury air cruises on an airship. These are steerable balloons that were last used in the 1900s. 16 passengers can fly to the North Pole and stay in hotel-like cabins. You can even have a picnic on an ice cap. Reservations are open now. Ocean Sky hopes to kick off that first trip in 2024.
Does it come with a meet and greet with Santa? That's what I need to know. And check up on that one. All right, 78 degrees right now in Greenville, 73 in Anderson, 70 in Asheville. He'll be at the Haywood Mall in just a few months. We can catch him there. All right, tonight is 81 degrees in Greenville for a feels-like temperature. That humidity just hanging around, and we need to kind of watch that over the next couple of days as it'll approach the triple digits by the weekend. As we fall tonight to the lower 70s, that's kind of your time to get outside, maybe do that walk or that run, because as the day goes on, though the thermometer will read the mid to upper 80s, it's going to feel more like the lower 90s. And as we look ahead, there will be a better chance for storms tomorrow afternoon. I can't rule out a shower or even a rumble of thunder first thing in the morning. We're kind of in a pattern here where we could get that stray shower at some odd times. In the mountains, same story. About a 20% chance of a storm in the morning, but I think there'll be a better chance starting in the afternoon hours. So we'll look for high temperatures tomorrow in the lower 80s in the mountains, near 90 in the upstate. And as we go throughout the day, that humidity is going to be oh so high. It's going to feel like around 98 in Lawrence tomorrow afternoon, 96 in Greenwood, about low to mid 90s in the upstate. And as we go into the weekend, I think that's actually going to build. On Saturday, close to the same, approaching that 90-degree feels like temperature in the mountains, but certainly there in the upstate. I think Sunday is going to be the hottest day. In the afternoon hours, those feels like temperatures approaching the triple digits from Lawrence to Union to Greenwood, Abbeville, and Elberton, right at 98 for Hartwell. Now, as we look ahead for the storm chances, Friday's here, finally here, right? So as we go into the overnight hours, again, can't rule out that stray shower first thing tomorrow morning or maybe around lunchtime, but those are going to be very few and far between. It's the afternoon hours that we'll see more coverage develop first in the mountains and then try to roll through the upstate. I think most of this activity will be over and done with by football time, but it's going to be a close call. There will certainly still be a storm or two around. I just don't think it's going to be widespread. Most of the activity should be taming down by the time kickoff starts tomorrow afternoon for high school football games. And then going into the weekend, we'll do it again with just maybe pop-up storms. That's going to be the main theme. So tropical storm Grace set to intensify back to a hurricane as we go into the over.